All right, welcome back to the channel. Errol Spence Jr. getting a lot of heat for being the man and laughing in the grill of Terence Bud Crawford about the fact that he, Errol Spence Jr., is still the man, whether you like it or not. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Errol Spence Jr. and Errol Spence Jr.'s fans and his promoters are flexing on Terence Crawford as Errol Spence Jr. lets Terence Crawford know, look, man, it's my world. You won the fight. Congratulations to you. But it's my world. And I'm going to get what I want out of the PBC and fights that the PBC are paying for, and you're just going to have to wait in line. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please listen to what I got to say. I know some of y'all are going to get in this comment section and start talking about hating and you don't like Bud and why Bud is the man. He won this fight. He deserves everything in the world. Errol Spence Jr. has to go back to fighting 4-round fights, and he needs to get back in line. He needs to be ranked in the lower 20s in the sanction. Yeah. That's not how the world works. And I'm sorry that that's not how the world works. I did not create the world. I just live in it. I didn't make the game. I just play it. And even this situation, I'm not playing it. I'm just letting you know what the game is. You can like it or you can lump it. It is what it is, and it's going to go down like this. It's not going to go down the way that you want it, because tell you the truth, some of y'all out here talking this stuff just want Bud to get his way, period. And it doesn't matter what it is. You don't want the PBC to get their way. You don't want Errol to get his way. You want Terence Crawford to get his way. And it doesn't matter what the scenario is. You're going to want that to happen. And you're going to say what's right is based off that. And you may run out and grab things like, I just want to see the best fight the best. How is boxing going to ever get to the point where the best fights the best? I didn't hear y'all saying that when you said, hey, Terence Crawford was right to leave Errol Spence in the dust and go fight David Avanesyan on BOK Prime for however much money he paid him to do that and leave Errol Spence stranded. At that point in time, is, hey, man, Bud's got to make the best decisions. He's got to make the best business decision. He wanted to fight before the end of the year. He wanted the money. So, hey, man, he's got to feed his kids. So he gets to feed his kids. Hey, man, he got to do what he got to do for the money. That's what y'all said. Many of you said that. So now Errol says, look, man, and the PBC says the same thing. Look, man, we got to feed our kids. Look, man, we would love to fight you, but hey, man, we got to feed our kids. We got to make the big fight. And you're hard to deal with, Bud. So what we're going to do is we're going to get Sebastian Fundora, the winner of Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora, to fight Errol Spence Jr. And they're going to go to Dallas, Texas and fight in Dallas, Texas in a big old stadium. And then, hey, if Errol loses that fight or if Errol wins that fight, we may run it back with Sebastian Fundora. Or we may run it, let Tim Tszyu get in there with Errol Spence Jr. if Errol Spence wins and get let Tim Tszyu get his run back. And we're going to run 3 or 4 fights, 5 fights on this card that we have over here on Amazon Prime. Because, hey, you had to do it on BOK Prime and you said, screw us. So, hey, man, we're about to do it over here. Same thing to you. Thanks for letting us know what you think about the sport, about how you should conduct business. You can't praise Terence Crawford for doing the same thing that the PBC is doing with Errol Spence Jr. Now, when Terence Crawford comedically told Errol, I don't know, buddy, you gotta wait in line. You lost, buddy, you gotta wait in line. And Errol Spence Jr. says, I don't know, man. I don't wait in lines. Dude, that's just, hey, it is what it is. Hey, man, I won the fight. You have to get behind me. This ain't no line. I don't know what world you live in. I've sold out pay-per-view I've had pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, successful pay-per-views. I've had big gate after big gate after big gate. I'm going home to Dallas and fight these dudes, and I'm not waiting in line for you. That's my house. Why do I got to wait in line to go to my house? The PBC is paying for this fight. The PBC is just got the people that paid and put the money up for the fight between Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora was the PBC. The PBC is going to be putting up the money for the next fight, whether it is Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu, whether it is Sebastian Fundora, Errol Spence Jr., whether it is Errol Spence Jr., Erickson Lubin for a vacant belt. It doesn't, they're putting up the money. So why exactly does a PBC fighter got to wait in line for an event that they're putting on and you're not even with the company? You're not bringing no money to the table. If you're not, you know what they say, money talks, BS walks. So this has been a constant refrain of mine for the last several days. Errol Spence Jr. is going to get a fight at 154 pounds, like it or lump it. The people that complain about that fight, complain about who he fights, don't buy fights anyway. And that was proven when they fought. When he fought Terence Crawford, and the pay-per-view did 650 to 700,000 pay-per-views, which was what Leonard Ellerbe said was good business, but it wasn't great business. And that's Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. What is Terence Crawford and Sebastian Fundora about to do? And how much money, seeing as Terence Crawford charged so much money to have a fight do $150,000 less than Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant did, despite being a fight that so many people were talking about. How expensive is he going to try to be for Fundora? I have a suspicion the answer is very expensive. So, you know how it goes. You can win the battle and lose the war. Let me repeat. You can win a battle and lose a war. Terence Crawford won the battle of Las Vegas in July 29th of 2023. He won that battle. He got the money that he wanted. He got the win that he wanted, and he got the boost to his reputation that he wanted. He got the bragging rights that he wanted. But now he wants more fights. He wants another battle. So what does it look like the people that he wants to battle with for the second time are doing? Thinking, hey, man, I'm going to keep my money. And you can't win any battle if I don't let you on the field. That's real life. You can like it or you can lump it. I suggest that you just, again, I'm telling you, I'm saying this, I'm going to say this all week. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And don't act like this is anybody's fault other than the fault of reality. There are things Terence Crawford could have done. If Terence Crawford is willing to fight with the PBC and he is willing to make a deal that works for the PBC, where the PBC is happy with the deal and the PBC feels like it's something in it for them, and that where they're like, hey, man, the best business decision for us is to have Terence Crawford fight this guy. If that was the scenario, he would get the fight and they would bend over backwards for that fight. But if Terence Crawford is going to insist on making it a competition where it is, I'm going to get everything and you have to give me everything that I want, you're going to have a hard time getting that fight done. And they don't care about those. They don't care about those sanctioning bodies. There's 4 of them. And this is a battle between 2. They'll let that 2% go. They'll let that second one go, and they will decrease the cost of their sanctioning fees by 3% and be perfectly happy about doing it and let somebody else bid on a fight for that WBO belt with Terence Crawford. And by the way, it very well will be them, maybe them, because they have the number 2 rated guy in the WBO, Erickson Lubin, right there. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.